President Biden's harsh words for his predecessor in the early days of the pandemic may be coming back to haunt him. The White House just announced a new plan to regulate travel from China over COVID-19. The Biden administration says beginning next month, all air passengers ages 2 and over must test negative no more than 2 days before departure from China, Hong Kong, or Macau. This applies to all nationalities and vaccination status, and to travelers in the U.S. only for their connecting flights. But when President Trump did something very similar back in 2020, then candidate Joe Biden blasted it as xenophobic. Watch.
This is no time for Donald Trump's record of hysterical xenophobia, and fear-mongering to lead the way instead of science.
Nicole, Dr. Sapphire, let me bring this out to you. 3 years have passed. Those comments don't age well when President Joe Biden just did the exact same thing. Should we have these travel restrictions with what we know now on China?
Well, it's a little bit tough. President Biden had to put on his big boy pants, and now that he's dealing with the same thing, he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that and be so critical when President Trump was dealing with it, when it was a state of emergency and there were many unknowns. Thankfully, we're not in that same situation we are right now. I'd say President Biden has it much easier. But it feels a little bit like deja vu. I'm not sure we've learned much in the last 3 years. There's many go-arounds for these travel restrictions. You can restrict saying you have to test if you come from China or some of these other places, but oftentimes they have layovers, they go through Europe, they go through other places, and they don't necessarily have to do the testing. We saw this early on with the early travel bans. And by the way, testing at this point, I'm not sure that's actually going to do much. The only benefit I see from testing people coming out of China and Hong Kong is to see, is there a new variant? We can sequence if they test positive. Let's sequence that virus and see, do they have Omicron like ourselves, or what are they dealing with right there? Well, go ahead.
Which they are doing. Remember, those 2 flights from China arrived in Milan yesterday, and half of the passengers had COVID. So now they're going to sequence and see, okay, well, is this indicative of the entire Chinese population? But Mark, as you look at what happened in China, they went from completely closed to now almost completely open.
Yeah.
But it's a series of bad decision, low immunity, bad vaccine, low vaccination rates. After bad decision, now completely opening up. And 18% of the population has COVID, and I don't trust Beijing to give us the answers about how bad it really is.
None of the data can be trusted, which makes it even more difficult to try and put some sort of policy in place when you don't know what the actual data is. But, kind of going back to this, Biden's tweet on xenophobia, he's been a hypocrite time and time and time again. I can go back to last week, and I can find a tweet from him tweeting something about gun control, literally a week after he released one of the world's most notorious arms dealers. This is Mr. Pro-Labor, who stripped the rail workers of their ability to negotiate. So hypocrisy is nothing new. But getting back to the whole China situation.
Well, that in itself is hypocrisy, because we're making rules for people coming on a plane, but at the border, there's no rules and there's nothing.
There you go.
Right. Do they have to do a test before they come across?
Yep.
Nope. That's not fair.
President Biden's tweet, and I know we have it, has not aged well. Where he went after, here it is. Yeah, we're in the midst of a crisis with the coronavirus. We need to lead the way with science, not Donald Trump's record of hysteria, xenophobia. This is the tweet where Biden. So here you go. This didn't age well, President Biden. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to lock us down again? Are you going to mask us all up again? You know why China opened up? Because you had people dying in that apartment fire in Guangzhou.
And the protesting.
Yes, and the protesting and the pain that those people and the public there said enough. And we've already said enough in this country. Europe has already said enough. It's what do you call it? An endemic. It's endemic, right?
Yes.
Right, Nicole? It's not a pandemic anymore. It's endemic. COVID is here to stay. So I don't think Biden has any chance now of going back to what he would like to do, which is to mask us all up. I think that time has passed.
Well, Cheryl, and one of the points from the tweet that he put up, he said that, Donald Trump was fear-mongering and inciting panic. But let's look at what the Twitter files have recently shown us that were released by Elon Musk. He essentially said that the Trump administration reached out to Twitter in an effort to decrease some of the panic buying and the fear and the panic that was going on. But yet it was the Biden's administration that were suppressing actual scientific experts, just ones that didn't fall in line with what the CDC was saying.
But China is so far behind where we are on COVID because they've been locked up for the last 3 years. So they don't know what we know. They don't have the vaccines that we have, the antivirals that we have, the immunity that we have. And the job of the President of the United States is to protect Americans. Do you think we need temporarily this policy, this testing, to protect Americans?
Well, that's the interesting thing, and that's what you brought up at the beginning, is that are we doing this so that we can actually test to get the health information from people coming from China to see if that variant is something different that we need to raise our concern for? If not, then why is it being done? Because we do have all these tools that have already been in place and immunities have been established. So is that the reason? And why aren't we just saying that we're looking for the new variants and that's how we're going to screen?
To help the American people, the best thing the president can do would take some of those billions of dollars of booster doses, mRNA doses that we as taxpayers paid for and send it to China because Americans aren't taking it. We've all had COVID once, twice, or 3 times.
Beijing says we're dramatizing the situation. It's like, well, we don't believe you. We don't believe anything that you're telling us.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.